Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to another episode of our Tekkit 2 Let's Play adventure, where today I am almost positive that what we are going to do is build a PESU. I think. I don't actually know that for sure. I mean, I've just stated it, but I kind of feel like maybe that's what we're going to end up doing, because I mean, we're at least going to start on that journey. We got to get magnets, which means we got to get an electrolyzer. Which, I mean, we also have to have dead magnets, which means rare earth and a compressor. But in order to get that, we need rare earth dust. So we're going to need to build a rare earth extractor, which I've got over here, which actually looks like it's going to be really straightforward. I feel pretty confident. But before we do that, I did want to go ahead and say welcome to a couple of new folks who have joined us. We've got Roald Bastiansen, I think is how you say that. Bastiansen? Not sure. It's a cool last name, though. Thank you, Roald. As well as Spont Gaming. So these are our two newest channel members. They're getting a little bit out of control down here. Things are getting a little, just a hair bit crowded. And I'm thinking that maybe at some point we need to relocate all of these fine crab friends. I don't know where to. I have a couple of ideas. But now we need to hop over here so I can show you what we've been working on in our between episodes with the channel members. Speaking of, we have 11 of these now. I was going to say, what happened there? I tapped it once, but it like did a double tap. I can't make it happen now. Anyway, there's 11 of those. There should be more. So what happened to the rest of them? You're all at the edge of your seat right now trying to figure it out, aren't you? You're all deeply confused and concerned, maybe even saddened. Perhaps there was an accident. There was no accident, friends. First off, let me show you this room. What is this all about? What is this you're showing us, Rees? I'll show you. First, we're going to skip right past this room, and then we're going to go right out here, and I'm going to hop on out. Check it out. We talked a lot about building a tower of power, and I'm still on board with that idea. I like the idea a lot. I think it'll be really cool. But for right now, I've built a solar shelf. So it's literally just like a shelf. If we have our wall here, this is the shelf coming off of it. And I guess it's not really a shelf because it's not elevated. It's also attached to the ground, so maybe I don't know what a shelf is. A shellfish? I'm feeling a little shellfish today. But the idea here is simple. We took the medium voltage. In order to get high voltage solar panels, we're going to need a lot more power. What is that? What is this? Is this like a gate? Oh, and they're working on the docks. Okay, I don't care. Whatever. None of that concerns us today. Nothing going on with the pig people is of concern to us today. Today we're talking about the solar shelf! We needed the medium voltage solar panels, so I took all the ones we had out and ready to go at the time, although now there's 11 more, which is good. And you'll see that I've built them in banks of 8. And the reason for that is that each of these outputs 32 during the day. EU per tick, right? So 32, that's 64, that's 128 for 4 of them, that's 2... Wait a minute. No. Hold on. Did I do the math wrong? Hold on. No. These must put out 64 each, right? Wait. No. Hold on. How much... Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Hold... Wait. Hold on, I've got to open up the wiki page. Okay, no, alright, I did my math right, I was just wrong. Each of these is 64 EU per tick. So 64, 128, 4 of them is 256, all 8 of them is 512, which, coincidentally, is the maximum amount of power that you can pass through an MFSU. So obviously we could feed all of these into a single MFSU, but it would only accept 512 EU per tick, and it would only output 512 EU per tick. Oh yeah, by the way, there's MFSUs all the way down. So what we've done is there's one MFSU for each bank of 8, and yes, technically they connect up to 2 MFSUs simultaneously, because I don't know how to make this cable not connect. I think we figured that out at one point. I think it involves painting the cable, and then it'll only connect up to other cables that are painted the same color, and that's just now come back to me in this moment. I'd completely forgotten about that. Do I still carry a paintbrush with me? I don't know if it'll work to prevent it from connecting up to a machine, because I think no matter what color the cable is, it'll always connect up to a machine if I'm not mistaken. So if we wanted that to work, what we could do is we could go 4 to that machine and 4 to that machine, and then have the painted one in the middle here, and then they wouldn't connect. But then at that point, we would be in a situation where the ones in the end would each only be getting 4. And I don't know, there's not even one on this end. This end doesn't have one, because it's just going straight to this one, right? So all of these are hooked up to this one, all of those are hooked up to that one. I'll figure it out at some point. None of this is going to possibly be permanent, because we might end up, trashing all of this if we end up building a tower of power, which there's no proof we're going to do that. We might just stick with this setup, because it is kind of nice, you got to admit. I sort of like it, at least. I think it's pretty cool. So we got our 8 solar panels hooked up to an MFSU. The MFSU goes down to that MFSU, and then you already see where they all end up, which is down here at the bottom of this hole. More MFSUs. I just thought, they're solar panels, so at night, when the sun goes down, they won't be producing. It'll be nice to have a great big buffer of power, and 3 MFSUs seemed like a good idea. So all of those are plugged in. Now, only one of them is actually hooked up to anything at the moment, which is that one, which is going to feed this, more or less, which we're trying to keep completely powered up. Now, we are hoping to get rid of the generators. As soon as they run out of power, I will be dismantling all of them. I'll be finding another use for them, though. Don't worry, we can use them in recipes and such. This is still also operating, but we're not really getting enough power into it or out of it. I've done a lot. I tried to speed some of these up by connecting them up with HV flux cables, and I still need to do that. The issue is, even when setting up an LV flux cable, too much power is going through, and they're going too fast to the point that item creation isn't. There's a lot of refinement to be done down here, is what I'm trying to say. So even though we do have solar panels in place now, and we have a nice solar shelf, there's still more work to be done down here to get this all running as perfectly as possible. And I think that one of the things I'm going to end up doing in order to help with that is doubling the number of machines that we have up here. So doubling the number of centrifugal extractors, doubling the number of rotary macerators, doubling the number of induction furnace. And I sort of already figured out in my head how I'm going to lay all that out, but that is not a very interesting video, I don't think. That'll probably be something I do with the channel members, if even they want to put up with that nonsense. To be honest with you, I can imagine them not wanting to. And that would be okay, it's a no-pressure situation. Not going to force anyone to watch anything they don't want to watch. But today, hopefully you want to watch me build a PESU. And we're going to get started by building an extractor, right? Because we got to build the rare earth extractor, and we got to go through all these different steps. I mean, the first step in all of this is going to be getting us some glowstone. Absolutely. Literally, the first step is the easiest. All the rest of this is going to be a pain in the neck. I got to build an actual compressor first, because it's got to be a recycler. Oh my god. All right. Look, you've watched me build all of these things in the past. Are you going to want to watch me do it again? Because if you say yes, then I'll edit the video such that you can watch me build all of these things again. But something tells me what you actually want me to do. Oh, what do I hear you shouting in the distance? What is that? Is that you yelling, Rees, please, for the love of all things good in this world, don't make us sit through this? Alright, I hear you. Check out this awesome clock wipe. Wasn't that a buttery smooth transition? Was that not just, chef's kiss? I can't believe you didn't want to sit through that. It took me maybe a minute at most to get all of these things put together. I'll tell you what, rare earth extractor, there we go. This thing is just, again, immensely helpful. I needed one of these. Done. Needed one of these. Done. So handy. Industrial work table full of just stuff. Highly recommended. Recommended? How much of dedicated WAM do we need? Okay, so is this a medium voltage? Is this a high voltage machine? Let me bring the wiki back up here and have a little bit of a look-see here. What is this machine even called? Is it going to be... Let's see. So the rare earth extractor is a low-voltage machine. I think the canning machine is as well. Yes, it is. But unfortunately, there's just nowhere left to plug these things in at up here. We're actually just completely out of room in this area to plug things in. We'll have to go down here, maybe? What have we got? I think that's still medium voltage. I think everything coming out of there is medium voltage. Again, except for right here, where I believe this is a transformer. That's an MFE. That's an MFE. Where's the power going to the thing I just said was low voltage? Maybe I'm wrong? Maybe I'm misremembering? What are you? Come here. No, yeah, LV transformer. Well, we can't break the canning machine, can we? Can't get rid of that chest. That would be ridiculous. Can't get rid of that one. That's part of our broken energy generation. It's going along quite swimmingly, by the way. Have we outgrown this house? No. No, we haven't. Because look at all of the free space. And then it's just this corner we've outgrown. We probably need to consider redesigning quite a bit of this. Tell you what if we moved the brewing stand over here? And this is the official location of brewing stand from now on. You just hang out there. And then I'll plop this machine down under here. And don't you worry, I'm not going to blow it up. I'm going to remember to get a transformer first. Okay, so we got our cable run. Then we've got our MFE. We've got you. You need to be facing the other direction. I think I've got that just about memorized now. And hopefully I'm correct, because here goes the rare earth extractor. Yeah, and it didn't blow up, and it's got power. So far, so good. Now, I was reading about this on the wiki, which I'm now in the process of reopening, because I stopped reading about it. But the rare earth extractor, if we put... Actually, we can look at it on this screen. If we look at rare earth... Yeah, there we go. It shows it here as well. And the idea is that if you put cobblestone in there, you will get 3.12 points. And in order to get rare earth dust, you need 320-ish, I guess, is why there's a squiggly there. 320 points. So it's going to take a lot of cobblestone. But it's going to take a bit less of, let's say, mycelium. That gives us 12.25. But then, if we go all the way up to something like soul sand... Oh, that's interesting. What? 100 points. But you only need 10? Is that... Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm confused. Are you saying that we need 10 soul sand to get a rare earth dust? Actually, maybe I'm confused about the orientation. So... Oh, yeah, okay. So this gives you 3.12, and you need 320 cobblestone to get a rare earth dust, right? Am I reading it correctly? So this gives us 100 points, meaning we need around 10 of them to get rare earth dust. That makes a ton more sense, right? Yeah, alright. So if we put, let's say, obsidian, and we'll get a stack of it, but if we put 10 of it in there, then that'll give us... Yeah. Okay, so at the end of this... First off, it should be right in the middle after it finishes the 5th one. Yep, okay, exactly what we expected. What goes down here, though? What could we possibly put there? That I don't know. I guess that could be a battery. If maybe you wanted to charge it off of a battery. Boom! Rare earth dust! How much of this do we need? So we need 4 to get a single rare earth chunk. And then, in order to get a magnet, you need 1 of those. So 4 per magnet. And then this is going to require... Per each of these, 8 oh my god. Okay, you know what we're going to do? Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to grab a hopper. And we're going to stick that on top here. And we're going to get rid of the other 63 hoppers that we got. And then we're going to fill this up with obsidian. Manually for right now. If we ever need to automate this, which, I mean, I can definitely see a future where we might want to automate this. But if we get to that point, not antimatter relays. Wait a minute. Did I just do what I think I just did? Hold on. Open this back up. No, okay, yeah, that's obsidian. In the future, I can easily see needing to add automation to this, and we can do that by just having obsidian generation get pumped into here. That'll be fine. But this is giving us these, and then where are they going? Nowhere, because we're only about to get the next one. Oh, this is going to take ages. And there's no way to speed the process up, eh? That's fun. That's fun. That's great. Okay. Well, we'll just let that run then, I guess. There's no way to even automate, like, extracting or inserting things unless we add a hopper to the bottom. That's unfortunate. Or, obviously, a pipe that's automated. We could do that, too. That would be fine as well. All right, well, you know what? We're going in the right direction. I think we already have an electrolyzer. And I don't remember what we used it for. But we have 4 of these now, and then we can surround a piece of bog standard iron, it looked like, with rare earth materials to create a rare earth magnet, right? Well, we're going to make a rare earth chunk. And then we throw that into the charged electrolyzer. No, we don't. We throw that into a compressor, which makes total sense, actually, because you got to get it compressed down to the shape of a magnet. And you throw that in there, and it should start electrolyzing, but there's something about the electrolyzer, and I don't remember what it was. We've had trouble with it in the past. Oh, it's just that it's slow, and you can't tell that there's power going in or that it's working, and it's just really slow. And in the past, I think I've stuck, like, handles on here and pressed buttons and tried to get it working, and it didn't seem like it was working, but now it's working. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting towards our first step, so we'll have magnets in no time. I guess now we need to work on some of the other elements of the PESU. The idea here with the PESU, by the way, is just because it'll accept an immense amount of power, and it'll hold an immense amount of power, and it just seems like a fun thing to have all of the power from the solar shelf dump into once the solar shelf is finished. We might not even end up placing this thing today, because I don't know where to put it. Because the solar shelf is eventually going to be stretched all the way to the end here. Okay, everything just kind of froze a little bit. That was concerning, but everything is fine now. So that's going to go all the way to the end here, and at the end, and then maybe underground, is probably where we will end up putting the PESU. At the, like the heart, maybe like underneath there, and then we'll have power reaching out in different directions from the PESU. But all power will flow to the PESU, and all power will flow from the PESU, and the PESU will be the beginning and end of all things power. And I'm not sure if we're going to be ready for that until we have enough solar panels to finish stretching the solar shelf all the way to its very ends, right? I mean, how are we doing on that front? Are we manufacturing these in a timely manner? We're up to 12. We started this episode with 11, so no. In fact, we're not, and we need to speed things up a bit, which is why I need to create more machines, and we're going to get around to that. But for right now, let's get the PESU built. So the next stage in the PESU is going to be, let's just focus on these iridium plates. And I say that because I think I've already got some iridium stone, I've got some iridium ore, I've got a ton of UU matter, I thought I had iridium plates in here. Maybe I already used them for something else that's not coming to mind. But we're going to go ahead and just clear that out. What if I have a look inside of my handy-dandy bag here? Did I throw them in here? I did. No, that's an iron plate. I take it all back. I guess I didn't. Maybe I was imagining that. Maybe I never actually built any iridium plate. Or maybe I did and I ended up using them in the last episode, and I simply don't remember, because my brain is aging rapidly, and soon I will be gone from this world, because I am old. This is not where I wanted to be. I actually wanted to be here, because I wanted to show you something else I did. Alright, some of you are going to think this is brilliant. You know how this spits these out until it fills this thing up, and then it starts throwing them on the floor? Okay, well I had this brilliant idea to just put a chest here. Now it holds them, so they don't get dropped on the floor and despawned. I know, I'm a brilliant man. I'm full of many wise and interesting decisions that benefit mankind. I am a very, very wise man. Thank you all for acknowledging that very true fact and not questioning it all. You might think, but why didn't you come up with that sooner, wise man? Listen, no one questions the wise man on his timing, alright? I'm neither late with my ideas, nor am I early. My ideas arrive precisely when I mean them to. And you would do well to remember that. Alright, make me more magnet. Thank you. I see, there it goes. There goes the I don't know why. Anyway, iridium plate. So for that we're going to need advanced alloy and diamond. If I'm not wrong, we probably have a single advanced alloy. Okay, well that's not going to help us much, is it? I thought for sure I cooked up a bunch more, though, in a previous installment, and I don't know where precisely it ended up, but I thought I made more. But I don't think it's the thought that counts in this situation. Okay, well that was a little bit fiddly, but there we are. We've got our, not one, but, give it a second, 2 iridium plates. I have a ton of iridium stone. Is that what else I need? I need 4 iridium stone, so I guess technically I've got that, yeah. And now we're just waiting on the PESs, which is going to be more iridium plate. So 2, 4, 6 of those. 6 more of those. And then we're going to need some of these, some of these, some of this. Alright, no, we're getting there, we're getting there. How many more of these did I say that I needed? First off, let's put all of these things up here, so that I don't actually have to click on it every single time. And then we need 1, 2, 3. Each one of these requires 2. So yeah, 6 of those. And wouldn't you know what? We ran out of something. What did we run out? We ran out of raw iridium. One of the easier things to manufacture by just creating the eye shape. 6, but then we already had 2. So then we actually need 8 total, but then we've run out of iridium again, and it's a good thing we got a lot of UU matter. I did the math on this at one point, and I don't remember what it came out to. But I remember we needed like a stack and a bit more. There we go, 8 of those. I feel like we're burning through UU matter really quickly, so maybe I didn't do my math right. But there we are. So we got all this stuff, and now here, we got these 2 things. We can get these real quick. We might already have these. This, though, that's what we're working on. Oh my gosh, now I finally remember what I needed all these plasma cells for. All this time is for this nonsense that we're doing. This is actually not all that bad. Now that I'm actually in the middle of it, it's going to be a bit... A tedium is probably the right word for it. It's a bit tedious. We also ran out of obsidian up there, which is awkward and embarrassing. Which is why I'm filling this chest also up with obsidian. Because why automate this process when I can just manually fill it with obsidian? And in the future, we'll have to take all this down, I think, to the ground floor. And have rare earth extraction automated. That'll be one of the easier things to automate. Because we just need something that generates obsidian. And then you pipe that into the rare earth extractor we just built, and it's done. It'll just have a ton of rare earth dust, and if we wanted to, we could continue that. Because, like, what are the other uses? Rare earth dust has one use, and that is to be turned into rare earth chunk. So we don't need to store rare earth dust. Just ship it along to a compressor. Apparently you can recycle it as well to get scrap metal, but that seems wasteful. Pump it into a compressor, which turns it into... I mean, what else can you do with this? That's it! Rare earth chunk is only used to make dead magnets, so we don't need to store that either. We could just immediately have it to go make these, and then what do you do with a dead magnet? It can only be electrolyzed. So we just have a chain of 4 machines all directly next to each other, just sending this item on one to the next to the next to the next until you finally get magnets. That'll be the easiest thing in the world to automate. That'll be super simple. I'm going to probably definitely end up doing that. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and grab the 8, so 12, 12 carbon plate that I need, as well as, I think we might have enough advanced alloy, so I think we're good there. Oh, and carbon plate we're actually good on as well. I didn't realize that we had a ton inside of here. So, what did I say we needed? 12? 5, 6 of those as well. And then I think we are... possibly ready. We're now just waiting on these. I think I've got literally everything else that I need. So I'm just waiting on the very slow process of these to get, you know, finished. So that I can then charge them up, which is going to take ages. That's gonna... Okay, well, while I was kind of standing around and waiting to grab these and take them and manufacture things with them and then move them over and have them be processed and, you know, just kind of doing this repeatedly again and again ad nauseum, I came to a conclusion that I think probably some of you have maybe also figured out. Something that maybe we need to, you know, figure out what to do with in advance. This thing's going to produce a ton of EU. I mean, it's not going to produce, but it's going to be able to pass through a ton of EU per tick. How much? An absurd amount, alright? This PESU, which I believe is considered an IV, or insane voltage, is what I'm assuming that means. It could just be EV. Hold on, maybe I should go ahead and check. Storage units. I'm pretty sure that the plasma energy storage unit is an LUV. It can output 32,768 EU per tick, which is gonna blow things up. Alright? It's gonna blow things up. And that's gonna be maybe a problem. It could be, possibly, if we try to plug it into anything. So we're gonna need transformers. So we're gonna need to go from the insane voltage, right? We're gonna need this. This will step it down to extreme voltage. So this is gonna require, I mean, none of this is particular, I mean, plasma, none of this is gonna be hard. We're kind of already working on everything we need to build these. So we're just going to have to make an additional one of these. And then also one of these. So 2 additional of those, I guess. It's not the hardest thing in the world. But then after building that, we'll need an EV transformer. So we're actually going to need to build 2 EV transformers, because you have to have an EV transformer to build the IV one. This will step it down to outputting a mere 2,000, I believe. Let me see. 2,048 EU per tick. That's pretty reasonable, I suppose. And then from there, we'll have to step it down further using an HV transformer. So we need 3 HV transformers, 2 EV transformers, and 1 IV transformer. I'll go ahead and make the HVs. The EV we've never built before, but we've built high voltage transformers before. and we've built everything required to build the EV one. It's not that interesting. This one's going to be a bit more of a challenge, and we're going to have to wait, because we're going to have all these magnets. That's really the thing we're waiting on, because that's going to require magnets for the... That's going to require... Hold on. That needs magnets, the PESD, because you have to have them in the plasma cell. And then as for these plasma cables, they also require a plasma core, which again is going to require the magnets. So we're probably going to want to build the PESU first. I'm just saying we're also going to need to build this, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on it. Now you're all caught up. Thank you for tuning into my Rees talk. This is an exciting moment. We are about to build our first ever plasma core. Can't build it inside of here, though. Of course we can't, because you can't have stacked things in the project bench, frustratingly. That is a shame. Well, you know what we're going to do then? Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get a crafting table. I know that I could do it with that little thing in my inventory that I keep that I never use that you can craft with, but this will work just as well. You know the thing? The thing. I'm not even giving it a name. You know the thing. Everyone knows the thing. Here we go. We're building a Philosopher's Stone. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I can't believe that. I forgot. I gotta have the plasma cells. Can't build it without the plasma cells, of course. But there we are, folks. Our first ever plasma core. Now, do we use this one in a recipe, or do we put this one... do we put it in a picture frame? And to commemorate this moment for all of time, we're going to throw it up in a lovely frame here so that we can always remember the moment that we finally built a plasma core. Now, will I probably end up using that one? Yes, more than likely. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to be as upfront and honest as possible. I am not a crook. Not that that's relevant to what we're doing right now. What I will say is relevant, though, is... I forgot what I was saying. We'll leave that one up there for now. I went ahead and I built the HV transformer and the EV transformer, as well as an additional EV transformer, so that we can build the IV transformer. And in order to build that, again, we're going to need to have 3 of these plasma cores. 1 for the cable. Well, actually, no, this recipe gives us 4 plasma cables. So we just need 1 for the plasma cables, and we need plasma cables over here as well, don't we? No, we don't. I've imagined that. That's a complete fabrication of my mind. But we're going to need 2 plasma cables, so we'll need 1 of those just to get those cables, and then a second one for the PESD, which we could go ahead and build if we wanted to. We've got everything we need. But what if actually we took this one down and we used it for the cables? I'm not opposed to the idea. I would love to find out what you folks think. Comment down below now and let me know what you think we should do. Should we go ahead and use the plasma core that we've already built for the cables? Or should I follow through on this ridiculous idea to keep it framed? Because, you know what? I said it and it was a joke, but the more time passes, the more I think it's kind of funny, and the more likely it seems that actually we're just going to end up doing that. I'll tell you what else it kind of seems like I'm going to end up doing, is building another one of these rare earth extractors, because this has taken a long time. I should have just built this in a previous episode and had it running this whole time. This is going to take even longer. This charged electrolyzer, are you kidding me? This is going to take actual ages. This is just painful to watch. Oh, what other projects could we be working on? What else can we do in that spare time? You know what? You know what? Hold on. Let me check something here. I know what I can do. I've got an idea. How many solar panels have you got? 13. They're chugging along slowly. I might go ahead and, like, pause the recording and spend this time expanding the solar shelf. Because I only built, like, a little portion of it over here, but I might go ahead and expand it all the way to the end here. That's what I'll do. And of course, I'll have to come in here periodically and check in and make sure, you know, of certain things. Like, I'm gonna have to verify that this isn't either full or that this is empty, which, I mean, we can definitely prevent that from happening by just continually stocking it with obsidian. Again, it could be automated. It could be easily automated. We could automate this with the amount of effort it would take to sneeze, if you know what I mean. So, I mean, we could definitely do that. But for right now, I'll just... Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I've made up my mind. And there's no taking it back now. I'm going to go ahead and work on the solar shelf. And when we come back, it'll be at a point in the future, in the far-flung future, possibly tomorrow in real life, of a time when these are all done. Alright, well, it now goes from one end to the other, and there's a bit of an extra space. There's just one, I mean, 2 blocks. There was a 2-block difference, so I just created a center section here, which might be, if we go all the way down to the bottom, maybe that is where we will end up Oh, you know what? Oh, no, these gaps are supposed to be here. I was going to say, I forgot to do the ceiling. No, I definitely didn't. That's where solar panels will go eventually. For now, they're all going to be medium voltage. But in the future, they might all be high voltage. Although, now that I think about it, it's not going to work with all of the MFSUs that I've built. Yeah, now that I'm actually thinking it all through, those will blow up if I... Well, they won't blow up. These will absolutely accept high voltage. It's just, we'll have to have one per solar... Oh gosh, that'll be confusing, won't it? Well, whatever. Maybe we just stick to medium voltage solar panels, because each one of these banks here represents enough solar panels to make a high voltage. Well, you know what? That's going to be so far in the future. We're talking about like months from now by the time they're all manufactured. Maybe in the future we do just go ahead and swap all of these out. Maybe I just figure something else out for storage. Maybe we don't worry about it too much. Maybe we build the hybrid ones that have their own storage. Oh, that would be great. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just say yes to that. And then that makes it future Reese's problem to deal with, not present Reese's. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and say that'll definitely be what we do. But how are we going? We got 20 of these. Well, no, we got 19 of these, plus the one that's in here, so we have 20 of them. So technically what I was saying is true, except I just threw those on the ground by accident. That was entirely unintentional. If you accidentally click into the negative space, sometimes they'll, like, fling themselves out. You gotta go back out and grab them, process them through here. This is taking absolute ages. I might have to get up from the computer and just leave the game running and go do actual things in real life. I've got stuff to paint. I got things to do outside. I've got a life to live. I could actually do that. I could just leave. But for now, I guess I can continue to pass the time by going deep underground, and now that I've done the top portion, I can start expanding the bottom portion, by which I mean, if we go back outside here, you'll remember, it's not just the solar shelf. It extends underground. And that's where all of the power comes in at. So I'll probably have to go... Oh, you know what? I also didn't do an entrance on the other side like that there. So I'll need to do that as well. But I guess I'll go to where each one of these will eventually be an MFSU. And I'll do the dig down. I'll start at the end here, actually. And then I can use the destruction catalyst to clear the hallway out and then meet up with the existing hallway. That's the way to go about it right there. So down I go. Oh, hello there, folks. Welcome back. It's been a while, and I've been busy in my secret underwater lair. Yeah, so cool. Like, you can see the wall and everything over there. This is actually really cool. I might want to expand this concept. Maybe have another hallway that goes out and is, like, completely glass walls and ceiling and floor. To what end, I don't know. I don't know where it would go or why. But it's just cool to look out the white stained glass and see the world outside. We might even replace the white stained glass with clear glass. That might even be a better move, right? Because obviously... Sorry, that was like... I tried to suppress a burp there, and instead I made like a snort sound. I think it might have been worse. We use white stained glass outside, so that's why I used it down here. But, I mean, I guess while we're here and we're talking about it, let's just get some regular old... bog standard Minecraft glass, and we will swap that out inside of our mercurial eye, and we will make sure that it... Oh, did it actually get... Yeah, okay. And then we'll set it to transmute. I do like it better. The issue being the outside. That's not so good. I need it to be... We have another glass, though, that is clear... and has a white rim around it. Is it bubble glass? Bubble glass may be the underwater solution, right? Like, we're not going to replace upstairs with it, although this is what we used to use upstairs. Yeah. Okay, so that is, like, really clear, to the point that it almost looks like it's not even there. This is what it's like with the... Yes! And if you're wondering what this looks like from the outside, I guess I can show you. I've not put in the trapdoors or anything over here yet, but, and we still don't have solar panels. But, yeah, that was the underground portion complete, and then this is what this looks like from the outside. Just kind of like little portholes. I think it looks pretty decent. I don't know what's happening right now, or why... I was not touching the wheel. I don't know if you noticed this, like, scrolling through here all by itself. I don't know why that was happening. That feels kind of cursed, and I'm a little bit concerned about it, but not a lot. Just like a tiny bit. Okay, maybe a bit more than a tiny bit. How are we doing in here, though? How is this going along? 30? Not too shabby. How is this going along? See, what I did was I did some math in my head, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to need 40 of these, and I've got 37, so we're only 3 away. So that's 40 because we're going to need 5 total, and each one requires 8. And the way that I arrived at that is 5 times 8 is 40. And the way that I arrived at needing 5 of them is we need 3 for this, for the PESU, and then we're going to go ahead and make the IV transformer, and that's going to require 2, 1 for the PESD and 1 for the plasma cables. Now, we do already have probably, when you think about it, if you think about it in a certain way, right? And this isn't the way I'm encouraging all of you to view this, because what I like most about living in America, you know, July's coming up, and you folks know I get pretty obnoxiously patriotic in July, to the point where I actually drive people away with my American enthusiasm, which is very fun for me. I think it's quite comical. But you know, one of the things I love most about America is just the freedom that you have to be whoever and whatever you want to do, be, and do whatever you want to do, and think however you want to think. And, you know, this is just an alternative way of thinking that you might want to approach the situation from. If we took this off the wall right now and we used it, gosh, we'd just be ready to be done right now. We could go ahead and take that down. Just take it right out of that picture frame, and we'd be good to go. That's just like one way to view it. That's not how I personally view things. See, I view that as the first one we ever built, and it's staying in the picture frame for no real reason. And then what we're going to do now is just very slowly and patiently continue waiting, however long we have to get 2 more of these. And that's fine. I never did end up going outside and doing the painting. There's starting to be like little rumbles of thunder outside anyway, so I don't even know if that's something I want to necessarily endeavor to complete today is the painting project, because I don't have anywhere to paint that's not going to get soaked. I need to think about that. I need to build my own painting booth. I do have to go to the bathroom, though. So what I might end up doing is just once again pausing the recording and then going to the bathroom. I don't know, put dinner out for the cats or something. I'll figure something out. We'll be back, though, once we have 40 of these. We're so close now. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad it took so long, because you know what? I had to do all of that work anyway. I had to get the rest of the solar shelf built. That had to be done at some point anyway, and I did it. And then once I was done with that, I was like, you know what, I got to do the underground portion anyway. And now we have these really cool portholes down here at the bottom that look out on these lovely squid. I'm happy with it. I'm perfectly pleased with what we got accomplished there. So I'm not even really upset that the PESU is going to take literally... I mean, it's hard to tell how long I've been recording, because recorded footage is only 47 minutes. See, that's the problem when you use the pause feature in OBS, which I've not been able to use in a while. But now that I'm finally back to being able to use it, because they simplified the audio setup, so you can actually use... It doesn't matter, it's a long story, but... I can pause the record. I can no longer see how long I've been recording. I just have to take note of when I've started. And I don't know when I started, so I don't know how long I've been here. That's actually a bit concerning, isn't it? But look at that. We just need one more. I'm gonna go to the restroom. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back from the restroom, took a quick nap, and if I'm not mistaken, we should be ready to go. Excellent, and this might be full or close to. We're gonna keep manufacturing those, because we're gonna need more of these special cables beyond what we have to build for this current project. And I will explain why in a bit. And the only reason I'm not explaining now is because I don't have the wiki page open. I'm going to have to open the wiki page, which is going to necessitate taking my hands off of the keyboard and moving them to a separate keyboard and doing some things, and that's the only reason why I'm not currently doing it. So let's start off with the actual cable. Oh, Shrek me. Do you know what I didn't do? I'm just now realizing that this was a horrible mistake. Well, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. All right, let's go ahead, and we determined we needed 5 of these cores. I'm sorry, what? Where's the magnets? Where'd I put the magnets? Are the magnets in here? Oh, thank heavens. I had a moment there. I was deeply concerned. Let's make the cores, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly. Perfect. And then in order to build the cables, we need these carbon plates. I think I forgot to build carbon plates. I think in all of that time that I spent building things in the basement, I completely forgot about needing carbon plates. But it looks like I've got some here in my inventory. So there we go, the 4 cables. Let's not accidentally make any more. And then we're going to combine that with the EV transformer and the PESD. So we need 4 PESDs. So 1, 2, 3, and then what did we run out of there? Oh, you know what? We didn't get enough of these, because I completely forgot. I didn't realize at the time that I got the first batch of them that we were going to need some for the IV transformer as well. But we got our 4 PESs now, and then the final thing that we need is the actual EV transformer, which I believe I left inside of here earlier. Thank heavens, because otherwise, oh goodness, I don't know where it would have ended up. But there we go. No, we actually still need, yet again, 1 more of these. And now, here we go. Satellite radio. Boom. IV transformer. We're going to also need to make sure that we don't forget the fact that, where did I put it? Inside of here, we gotta hook all of these up in a row, and we gotta put them in the correct row and make sure we orient them correctly so that we don't accidentally start blowing stuff up once we get power plugged into this thing. But that is a problem for later us to deal with. In the meantime, it's time to finally build the PESU. 4 iridium stones, 2 iridium plates, 3 PESs, which can actually be used as a battery as well, I believe, if we wanted to just charge these up and then carry them around with us to, like, power our tools and things. I think that's an option. But also, it looks like I have misplaced... Did I not make them? Did I use them for something else? Where's the iridium plate, though? Where is that at? What have I done? What have I done? It's not that big a deal. We don't need to panic. You know I made this earlier, and I don't know where it is now. But... Actually, I am a bit concerned, because where did do I just have them, and I don't know where I put them? Is that what this is? Is that a possibility? This has really ground the whole thing to a halt. You know, we resumed here because I thought I was ready, and very clearly I'm not ready. What have I done? What, did I use them? Were they used at some point for this? No? Oh... We had to build an extra PES that I wasn't accounting for. That's where they ended up. Alright. My bad. Gonna have to build some more of these now. That's actually a little bit awkward and embarrassing, but you folks aren't gonna hold it against me, I hope. Hopefully we can all still be friends. Or, I mean, not really friends. We're all, in a broad sense, just strangers talking to each other on the internet. But, hopefully I can continue to be your entertainer. The person for whom you're a channel member, possibly. We have a lot of those now. You saw them all downstairs in the basement. It's getting out of hand. But, hopefully you won't abandon me for this blunder. I apologize. There you go. Again, 4 iridium stone, 2 iridium plate, 3 PESs. A PESU. Now, it's a shame we can't use this PESU, because we're going to actually have to go ahead and get an item frame out. And we're going to display this one on the wall, on the opposite side of the door. Not really, no. Are you crazy? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if that would be ridiculous? I don't think so, folks. So what I'm thinking about doing is, right in here, there is a middle section where it wasn't quite even up top, so there's a few more blocks between this set and this set. And I thought that's where we could bring them all together. And that would be, should be, right here. Yeah, I'm right on it, actually. Maybe 1 block over. But that's going to be the middle of the solar shelf. So there's an equal number of solar generators to either side of this point. Oh, well, I mean, not yet there's not, but someday there will be. Right now, these dark spots here, that's where solar panels actually are. And eventually it'll fill all the way across here. But I thought what we could do is put it, like, right in here. And have them all kind of feed into it. So I've got to figure out where that is exactly. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think this is going to be the middle block. And the way to test is to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. And then that's where there's going to be another line coming down. I keep forgetting, every time I forget, that we're not all the way at the ground down here. We're just level with the factory. For some reason, when I'm in here, I'm always like, oh yes, we're down at the, like you know, in the proper basement area. But we're not. We're just barely below sea level. Which is why we are able to have this lovely sea window, which looks really cool. Okay, so this is going to be where we end up putting, wait, I've already lost it. Is it right here? No, it's right here. Yes. So I don't actually know why I put a hole there. I guess we can put a light there, and then we'll put the PESU there, right? And now we can start feeding power into the PESU. And For that, you might think we're going to use glass fiber cables, and I'll tell you what, for the sake of just, like, demonstration... Oh, wait, no, because it's got to come from way down there. Never mind. Here's the issue with the glass fiber cables, and you think that I would have taken the opportunity to already, on the other computer, open up and start reading, but what I'm actually doing right now, and the reason I'm looking around like this, is because it makes it look that I'm still paying attention to the game, as opposed to what I'm actually doing, which is looking over to the side at a different screen and trying to click through to the cable section. That's what I'm actually currently doing, okay? And here's what you need to know. Glass fiber cables have a transfer rate of 512 EU per tick, which means a single MFSU, like this one here, will max out the transfer rate of a glass fiber cable, which is less than ideal. So, we're going to need a bigger cable, right? Because we can't have we could have a separate glass fiber cable for each of these, but we're going to run out of sides to pipe power into. Well, what are our other options? Well, ahead of glass fiber cable, there is the HV cable. We'd want to go insulated so we don't electrocute ourselves, but that'll hold 2048, which is good for 4 of the MFSUs. But some of you might have noticed there's more than 4 to either side. In fact, I think that there's a total of maybe 9. Hold on, we can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There will be 10 MFSUs worth of power being piped into this machine, and there will be 10 over here as well. I guess we should be counting not the blanks, but it doesn't matter. It actually, now that I think about it, does not matter at all. You get the idea, 10 or 11. So we actually need more than that. So if we go up to past the EV cables and we get to the LUV cables, because remember, this is a ludicrous voltage. I think that's what LUV stands for. I think this is a ludicrous voltage contraption here. That number almost goes off the edge. That is incredible. The issue with it is it can support 32,768 EU per tick. That's it, 37,600. Okay, so for that we're going to need the LUV cables, which is like the plasma cable. That's the only cable capable of carrying that much power. So I figure we'll just use it for input as well. So, I mean, here's the thing, right? And I want to make sure that I explain this clearly, because I've been a bit rambly over the last 5 minutes. We absolutely could run one single glass fiber cable line. It wouldn't blow up or melt or anything. It's just limited to the output of a single MFSU, right? A single MFSU can completely maximize it, which means if we want to get power out of all of these, the alternative is to either use one cable for each of them or use a cable with enough room to carry power from all of them. And that's what we're going to do. It's overkill to use these cables, and it's going to be expensive, because for every 4, we got to get plasma. So, I mean, what we could do is we could have, starting from this one here, glass fiber, and then move up to HV cable. And so have HV cable going from there, so that's 2, 3, 4, and then only use the plasma cable, right, after this point, to carry it through all the way down to the PESU. So that's a lot. That's a lot. You gotta have a plasma core for every 4 of these, which is why I need to actually automate the plasma core construction. I can continue doing it manually for now. And I mean, it's not a pressing issue, because we don't even have all of these filled in yet. But I am curious to just start dumping power in here. I want to see what that looks like. I think a lot of you are as well. And I would feel like it would be sort of a disappointing finale, a disappointing ending to the episode if we didn't at least hook this thing up and start dumping electricity into it. So let's just do it. Let's just start dumping in power. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? It is a thing of beauty. It's never going to fill up off of this. Oh, well, it will eventually someday, but I mean, as you can tell, it's going to take quite a while. Now, coming out of there, we're also going to need our transformers. So we're going to need to transform it down to extreme voltage, and then transform that down further to high voltage, and then it'll actually be usable. The question is, in what direction? I feel like maybe we'll want to go that way and have the actual power tap be outside, and we might want to introduce cables so that we can have multiples of the transformers. And That's an idea for later, maybe. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and hook in the transformers just yet, because I'm not ready to tap into this massive source of energy. Clearly, we need a bit more time and a bit more preparation so that we can get all of these plugged in using the big cables. I guess I left them upstairs, didn't I? I don't even have any. I kind of wanted to place them down and see what they looked like, because the heavily insulated high-voltage cables look rather silly. They're almost block-sized. So I wanted to see what it looked like when you hooked up one of these massive cables. And to do that, we're going to need to head upstairs and also take a nap so we can get solar panel production going again. Because the last thing we want to do is have solar panels not producing power. That's absolutely essential. And the big cables are going to be inside of here. What do you look like, plasma cables? Here, next to a glass fiber cable for comparison. That is just wacky and great. Can I break these with just anything? Oh yeah, they're real easy to break as well. Plasma cables. We got to build a ton of them. We're just going to have to. And I guess that is where we're going to leave things off for today. Hopefully, I mean, sign off down below if that was a satisfying conclusion, whether you kind of got what you were hoping for out of this. I'm sure the idea in many people's minds, and I can understand it, was that we would have the entire solar shelf hooked up, but we're just not there yet. We don't have that many solar panels. And I've got to make a ton more MFSUs, and I got to make a ton more cables. But look at this, the generators are offline, and this is still full, which is good, because that's all being fed off now almost directly by one of the banks of solar panels. How crazy is that? That is spectacular. It's going, man. It's going. Everything is going, and it's going well, and I'm excited about it. All right, well, let's go ahead and check and see how many of the medium voltage solar panels that we've got. And maybe I need to extend this door, because it's kind of weird. Unless we want this to be invisible. I could just add another block here and then have a hidden door. Hidden doors can be fun. Maybe that's just me, but I like having little secrets. It's kind of like Hogwarts, right? One of the things that make Hogwarts fun and charming is the idea that it's got all these hidden doors and pathways. And I feel like they didn't quite sell us on that in the Hogwarts Legacy game. But yeah, that's fun. You have this where all the power comes from. It's just hidden behind a secret door. Just like this basement area is kind of hidden behind this secret hatch. If you didn't know that was there, would you ever find it? I mean, you'd have to be just looking at the ground and notice a change in the floor material, right? But where are we at now that I've spent so much time just hanging out around here? 18. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get those hooked in then. I'm going to get them wired up. And who knows, maybe by the time we come back for the next episode, we'll have the entire solar shelf filled. Maybe I'll just leave the game running while I go outside and work on my projects, and that way I can keep making more medium voltage solar panels. That would be fun. Also, I guess it's not super secret when there was a massive hole in the floor there, but you get my saying. Alright, thank you folks for watching. God bless you. Big shout out and thank you to all of the channel members who continue to support the legendary Lucas Kits, the otherworldly Purple Lemons, the fabled Maria Amor, the otherworldly Jake Yates, the fabled Marier, the mythic Gilliam, the fabled Gertha Goff 2, the fabled Ryan Wilson, the fabled GSNL, the mythic Ben Ridout, the fabled Connor Edwards, the fabled The Worder, the fabled Bassodding, the fabled Jankaz64, the fabled Ronald Bastiansen, I think I'm saying that right, I hope so, and the fabled Spot Gaming. Thank you all for your continued support, and I will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye!